Hi guys, and welcome to Mr. Macken's video tutorial for the final question of section 1 in the National 5 Critical Reading Exam. In this video, I'll be showing you how the approach to the 8-mark question is similar to the final level of one of my favourite video games ever, New Super Mario Bros. On the Nintendo Wii. So the game is a bit of a blast from the past, and as a treat after passing the exam, I would recommend you getting yourself a copy or giving this a run through. I've made a connection through video games because I really like gaming and I thought that the connection may resonate with many of you. I will be discussing the approach to the exam as if you studied a play in this video. In this case, Itali's Blood by Anne-Marie de Mambro. The model question that I'm going to use is from the 2017 paper, which is available on the SQA past paper website. Links are below this video. And the answers that I will be offering will be lifted straight from the mark scheme, which is also available on the SQA website. It would be useful for you to have a copy of the text with you, as well as a pen and a piece of paper, so that you can attempt to answer the 8-marker by pausing the video as we go. The edition of Itali's Blood that I will be using will be the Hodder Gibson edition, which is available in the English department at the school. The question that I'm going to use as a model will be, by referring to this extract and to elsewhere in the play, show how the character of Massimo is presented. And again, this is from the 2017 paper. If you haven't got the paper in front of you, the extract comes from page 111, when Rosanella says, "You don't see it, do you?" to page 113, when Massimo says, "A wee holiday, just the three of us." Pause this video and read through the passage fully before we continue. So before we talk about the exam, let's look through the final level and what Mario has to go through in order to be successful. He can only afford to be hit twice in the first 2/3 of this level, and his first obstacle is the hallway. Once he passes that, he meets Bowser himself. Now this guy looks really tough, but once you know how, just like the exam itself, it's dead easy to beat. All you have to do is wait for your moment, jump the fireball, and run under him when he jumps to hit the button. And as you can see, Mario is really happy to have beaten Bowser. However, his celebration is a little premature, because there is still one final phase that he has to beat in order to complete the game. This is the biggest, most daunting aspect of Bowser. This next bit takes a real long time to get through, so I'm going to skip towards the end. So here we are at the final stage of the final level, still running from Bowser, and we need to get to this button, and that is him defeated, and he knows it. And again, Mario is going to be really happy, this time rightly so, because he has now completed the game. And as we know, Princess Peach was never kidnapped again, at least not until the next Mario game, which came out just 1 year later. So what does this have to do with the exam? Well, like many video game bosses, Bowser gives us 3 phases to complete in order to defeat him, which is what the 8-marker question does to us as well. The 8-mark question is the highest level in the Scottish set text section of the National 5 paper, just like Bowser is the final enemy in the game. Another term for this is boss, And another word for boss in the real world is CEO, as in the head of a company in America. This also happens to be the name of the strategy, so you just need to remember CEO. And at this point, I'm going to be using exam language rather than video game, but I'll use images from the games to demonstrate the connection. Phase 1 is called commonality, and it's worth 2 marks as a maximum. Now don't get hung up on the name because it is a bit of a misnomer. But there are going to be 2 things that we need to do in order to gain the marks. In this case, you will need to say 2 things about the play which are true in relation to Massimo and what kind of character he is. Use bullet points to lay out your answer. And the first one that I would make would be about how he is presented in the extract that you will have in front of you in the exam, such as Massimo is presented as a character who cares about Rosanella's happiness deeply. Now pause the video and see if you can make another statement about how Massimo is presented at any other point of the play. Do not try to quote. And here is an example of what my answer would look like. So my second bullet point is later in the play, Massimo is presented as a romantic character who loves Rosanella very much. Once you have your 2 bullet points and they're worth 1 mark each, you are ready for phase 2, which is titled Extract. This section is the easiest part of the paper for my money, because you just need to pick a quote from Massimo and tell the marker what this quote says about his character. There are 2 marks available once again, one of which you're going to get simply for quoting Massimo. Again, use bullet points to lay out your answer, 1 for each mark gained. Here's another sample answer. So my first bullet point, I've selected the quote from the extract which was printed in front of me. It says, "Come to Italy with me." And I've said that this shows us that Massimo loves his family and wants to spend time with them. It's as simple as that for extract. 1 quote plus 1 explanation, and that is phase 2 complete, which means you're ready for the final phase of the 8 marker, and that is other. Now, the mathematicians in the room will realise that there are 4 marks left. So this is the section which is worth the most marks for this particular question. There are going to be many, many possibilities here, and you do not have to quote. However, you do need to refer to the text and say what is happening, and your answers must come from anywhere in the play that is not printed in front of you. You might have been taught this as elsewhere. However, that is just the word that the SQA have it down. For our analogy to work, we're going to call it other, as in other places in the play. I'm going to give you the first 2 bullet points that I would use for this answer. So the first 2 marks. So for example, Massimo's shop is attacked by an angry mob in the first act of the play. My analysis says that Massimo is seen to suffer because of his nationality. Pause the video now and see if you can come up with another thing to say about Massimo, about any part of the play other than what is printed in front of you. And here is an answer that you might have. So I've gone with Massimo reenacts holding the ladder to steal Rosanella at the end, as he did when they were young. Massimo is shown to be a romantic and funny character at the end of the play. Now, each of those bullet points that you can see is worth 1 mark each. If you count them up, you'll see that we've got our 4-mark answer. Now, there are other possible answers, and here are the ones that the SQA have given us. So check your answers off against those, and if you have them or something that is close enough to that, then give yourselves the marks. If at all you're unsure, then please don't hesitate to bring your paper into the school and ask one of the English teachers, and I'm sure that won't be a problem. And that's it. The layout for your answer should look exactly like it did in the white boxes in this video. Now, for further practice, what you could do is this exact same extract along with the same question with only a slight alteration that we change Massimo's name to Huey, Lucia or Rosanella, and discuss how their characters are presented. Once you've done that, you can bring that into school, have a teacher look at it, and then you should be exam ready to take on the 8 marker. Good luck in your upcoming exams.